y'all, welcome to Rusty Fence Farm. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to share with you some homeschool curriculum. This is a little bit different than what we normally share. We live on a sheep farm, a small sheep farm. We raise meat sheep. If you go back and look at the history of our channel, you'll see lots of videos about sheep and lambs. And we've also raised a steer and had butchered. So you can go back and find some of those videos. Hopefully you'll enjoy them. We also run our own small business and we homeschool. And today's video is going to be an overview of our homeschool curriculum. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to show you what we're going to use next year. Now this is today, at the date of this recording, this is May 8th. We're closing out the 2024-2025 school year, and I already have all of the stuff that I'm going to use next year. Well, most of it. There might be a thing or two that I add later. I'm excited about it, and I'm going to show you what we have used and what we're going to use. First, I want to real quickly say that there are lots of great homeschooling companies out there. There are lots of great companies that sell all different kinds of curriculum, and I've used all different kinds in the past. And just because I don't use one thing, it doesn't mean I don't think it's a good curriculum. It's just this is what has worked well for us, for Sophia. Okay, well, this is how I do want to share with you right quick how I come to make decisions about what we're going to use for the school year. And I know that many of y'all know about christianbook.com. I love getting their homeschool catalog, and there are other places I love to look at too. Rainbow Resource is one of them. I've ordered from them quite a bit in the past. So what I do, or what I did this year, I'll just tell you what I did this year. I go through and make a list of all the classes that we're going to do for the coming year. If I've already got some of the curriculum, I'll go ahead and list it. I'll put it on the list under each subject, like for instance, math, we use Saxon, so I listed Saxon, and history, we use Abeka, so I went ahead and listed what we already have for the next year. And then I'll go through this catalog, and I can spend a lot of time looking at this catalog. So I'll go through it and I'll mark everything that I'm interested in or what I think she would be interested in. And if we do make any changes, I do usually talk to her and ask her, do you think you would be interested in this or that? So we did have that discussion this year. So I'll go through and circle everything that I like, and then I'll write down prices, because some things you can get on eBay, some things you can get on Amazon used. And then of course I do order from Christian Book Distributor. Okay, this year, all of the school stuff I ordered came from either Christian Book Distributor or Amazon or eBay this year. Okay, so that's how I kind of go through and make a decision on what to do for the upcoming school year. I'm going to show you what we're going to do for Bible this year. I've done all kinds of different things in the past. I have a devotional book for young ladies. We're going to do that. And I also ordered this actually came from eBay. I think it's from My Father's World. And what it is it's full of stories that are allegories. And so although it's not Bible, it's interesting stories that bring out biblical principles in the story. So we're going to try that. And then she does a lot of scripture copying, and we do a lot of scripture memorization, and of course I just use the Bible for that. We're also going to do this biblical holidays book. I really love this book. I've had this book for probably 10 years. And it's so interesting. And I will probably share some more of this throughout the year. What this does is it goes into the history of the biblical calendar and how it's different from our calendar. And this book also incorporates Jesus into all of the holidays. So you can find a picture of Jesus in every biblical holiday. So I really love that book. Next. So on my sheet, okay, the next thing is penmanship. This year we're using a Becca. Okay, the 2024-2025 school year, we've used an Abeka penmanship curriculum. I'm gonna change that up next year, and I'll show you in just a minute what we're gonna use for that. For math, I've already told you we're gonna use Saxon. I got this actually I ordered this off eBay, so we're gonna do that. And let me just tell you, I think the camera might be shaking a little bit, sorry about that. Let me just tell you that Sophia really enjoys using Nicole the Math Lady. So Nicole the Math Lady we use in conjunction with our Saxon textbooks. And if you've never heard of or looked at Nicole the Math Lady, what it is just videos of the lessons, basically. She explains the new concept, and then they do the work, and the student can enter in answers on this program that you buy, and it immediately grades it for you, so they immediately know if they got it right or wrong. There's like facts practice, before each lesson if you choose to do that. So I really like that program. So for math, we're doing Saxon and Nicole the Math Lady. Next is spelling. Sophia has really struggled with learning how to read. She's doing so much better now. She's doing great, actually, really good. And so what she also struggles with is spelling, which so do I always have. That's why I always keep a dictionary. Of course, now we have our phones and we don't need the dictionary. So I've tried Abeka phonics and spelling, and it just did not click for Sophia. I went through years trying to make it work, trying to redo the lesson plans and redo all the things to try to make it work. It never did click for her. But one thing that is working for her right now so far is All About Spelling. Now, I did try their All About Spelling reading program. We only used it 1 year. And then we just went ahead and switched to the spelling. That just works for us. So when you get this package, there's the teacher manual, there's a student book, we've got stickers for a chart that the students can keep up with. And then that you see in the middle, those are cards of different things like, there's word cards, there's rule cards, phonogram cards and things like that. And this is from this last year and this year. So they send the sheets of cards, you tear them apart and you put them in the box. This box you do have to order separately, but I highly recommend getting the box. All those cards are just way too much to try to keep up with. And it's really hard trying to find a box that fits exactly, that the cards will fit in and not fall, and just makes your life much easier. So we are going to stick with All About Spelling because I see really good results from that. Next is grammar. This is for next year. This is next year's grammar. It's the Fix It books from IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing. I've used them for several years now, and I really like it. I just do. I really like it. And so it comes with a teacher book and a student book. And just real quick, what they do is there's a story. This story is Town Mouse and Country Mouse. And every day there's a sentence from the story that they have to fix, which hence the title, Fix It. So they fix what's wrong. They label the sentence with the parts of speech, punctuation, all of those things. And then they have to copy the sentence down here. Now, when I used it a really long time ago, the student was supposed to have a separate spiral bound notebook, and then they would actually each day after they corrected the sentence, they would go to the notebook and copy down the sentence in the notebook so that they ended up having a complete story at the end of the year. Now, this one is kind of like that. In the back, it's designed where you can cut that off, and so you can take it somewhere, have it cut, and then they'll have a small book of the story in their handwriting. Now, that's a great idea, but for Sophia, she went through and she labeled the sentences, but she also drew pictures for every sentence. So she drew scenes in the book. So I can't have this cut because it will cut off her artwork, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to keep this book the way it is. Next year, we may, instead of her rewriting it in this book, we may go ahead and just get a notebook that she can write it in, and that way she'll have the whole story. Okay, that was great. I said I wasn't going to go into detail. Sorry, I went into detail about that one. The next thing is going to be writing, which she has not taken an official writing class yet. So I had gotten this last year, but I felt that she wasn't ready for it. I think that she needed to build her confidence in spelling first and sentence structure before we started an actual writing curriculum. And this writing curriculum is also from IEW. And I've used this before with one of my sons. But not to go into detail, there's a teacher's manual, there's a packet, and then they send this binder that already has dividers in it. So she'll have a video to watch, and then she'll have a project or a paper to write for 1 week, like it's a 1 week project. And I'll give her the story. They've already got the story included in the curriculum. It's usually just typed out on a sheet of paper. They get the story, they read it, and then they go through and learn how to write notes, take notes from what they read, and then rewrite the story in their own words. So I'm excited about that. And you can really go at your own pace with that as well. It's not anything that you have to rush through. So I like that about it as well. So far, we have enjoyed Abeka history. Now, I have some different reasons for that. One being, I feel that that my kids have benefited from just doing regular old book work. They read the lesson, they answer the questions at the end, which also helps with their handwriting as well. So they answer questions at the end, and there are tests and quizzes that you do with these, which I feel personally, for me, it's important for them to, at least in some of their subjects, have tests and quizzes, just because you don't know what they're going to do when they grow up, and you want them to be prepared to take tests and quizzes. So let me show you the rest of history. So this is what she's going to be using for next year. And I do like to get the activity book because it has all kinds of maps and things, geography, and other little worksheets to do. I like that. And then there is one thing that I've never used before that I've always wanted to use, and I can't wait to use it this year. It's the draw and write through history. So this should coincide with this, okay? Never used it, so I don't really know what to tell you about it. I don't know if she's gonna like it, but I'm excited to use it. Pictures, oh, okay. So I mentioned penmanship earlier. Well, we're gonna finish up the Abeka penmanship. I'm gonna use this for penmanship because it has, like, that's copy work and cursive handwriting. So, and then they get to draw, and I'm excited to use it. I might be more excited than Sophia. One more thing that I got to go along with history and really Bible too. I'll be right back. Okay, I have never used this. I have always seen these timelines that I thought was so interesting, these big, huge timelines. And so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get this because it says a map of history, basically. You may know about this already. Tell me what you think about it before I start using it. It's huge. Look at this. This is a timeline that you open, and it has the panels on the inside, and you just unfold it, and it keeps unfolding and unfolding. It's just really huge, and there's lots of information on this. And what it does, it's supposed to have biblical history and secular history like side by side, so you can see what was going on in the world when David was king, what was going on secularly. So I can't tell you about how I feel about this because I don't know yet, but it's very interesting. We took a little bit of time to look at it, and it's interesting. It came with, actually I think I ordered this separately, but it was only a few dollars. One of these I ordered separately, the teacher's guide, I think. So you could probably, this is the teacher's guide. You could probably use this, as a part of your curriculum for sure. And then the book, there's a book that tells you how to use the map and how to read it. So the timeline, timeline map of history. So I'm excited about that, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. But if you know anything about this, feel free to let me know. Okay, science. We've been using Apologia. She loves it. We'll just go through all of these, I'm sure. Last year, I tried the CD. So she puts it in the computer, and she hears it. It is read to her as she follows along in the book, and she absolutely loves that. It is worth buying this for sure. She loves that, and I just think it's great. So she does the textbook, and I do like to get the notebooking journal. You don't have to get the notebooking journal. You can even make your own binder or your own folder, but I like it. And this is the first time that I've seen that it is all, it looks like it's all in color. All the ones I've used before have not been. They've been black and white. Of course, like I said, I've gotten some things on eBay, so it's probably the older editions. Now let me show you a few things that I will throw in somehow, some way. Okay, we at this point in our school journey do not have like an official art curriculum, but she got this. She got this last year for her birthday, and it's a watercolor book that teaches you how to watercolor and do watercolor painting. So we'll use this in conjunction with YouTube videos. And there's one more book I want to order, that will go well with this. I can't remember the name of it. It's just a book of famous paintings, and I'm not sure if they're watercolor paintings. It may be. Also going to try to incorporate this somehow in our work this year. I think it's important for her to go through this. I already had these from like several years ago, so I just ordered this on eBay and I got it. Actually, no, I already had this book. I got this at a thrift store actually. And so I ordered this to go along with it. We're just gonna go through it. I'm not gonna do tests and things like that. I just want her to read it and answer the questions at the end. And I'll do my own tests and or quizzes. And then I've already had these charts as well. So these charts are tastefully done. I really like them. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and go with a Becca, because I already had the book. Okay. I have in the past used the Becca reading program, and I really do like it. I love their readers. I think she has read all of them though. So this year I chose to do something a little bit different. And so I checked into it and I think it's okay. It's this series, the Green Ember series. So she's gonna do this type of reading for reading next year. And I do want to incorporate this. I got this a couple of years ago. It's just a book of old and new poems. And there's nothing fancy about the pages of this book. A little bit of artwork, not much. You know, I just want her to read. We just need to read some poems and that kind of thing. Some of these things, I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate it exactly, but I do plan to incorporate it. I know this is a little bit different than the videos we normally post, but this is part of our lives, and that's what this channel is, really just a vlog, a family vlog is what it is. So it's just, so far, I've mostly done the things outside. I've been a little bit hesitant about incorporating more personal things into the channel, but this I don't feel is too personal, and I also feel that it may help someone. If you're looking for curriculum for the 2025-2026 year, maybe this video will help you. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here, and please go check out some of our other videos. Most of our videos are sheep related, and a little bit of it about our family business that we run, and a little bit of personal life as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please let me know if you have any questions, or if you're new to homeschooling, thinking about homeschooling, or just have any questions about any of the curriculum that I showed you today. And I will see y'all in the next video.